Hello everybody, I'm E11. This video today is going to focus on putting some tomato plants that I got from the store and putting them in the Kratky system. I've also done seedlings. If you look at my older videos, my channel mainly focuses on Kratky, doing leafy greens, herbs, and vegetables. I do lives about once a week and put out a few videos also during the week. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comment. Oh, and in my descriptions of each video, I put links to all the products that I like to use. And yeah, that's it. I hope to see you in a live. If you have any questions, please let me know. March 18th. If this looks crowded, it's crowded. I have, well, in just tomatoes, I've got
4 tomatoes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And then I have a couple more that need to go in soil. So I've been putting it off for a couple reasons. The weather has not been great, but I need to do it. These are getting way too big. My original plan was to start them off either in a 5-gallon bucket, but then I remembered that I have these lovely containers. These are cat litter containers, and 2 of them I've put the 2-inch hole on the side, and I can fill them up this way with water when I need to, or I can, put a noodle or something to close it up. So I usually put a net in there as well, either pantyhose or some other kind of cloth so nothing can get in there, and I can put the plant in the top. Because these are so much bigger than, let's say, these that I started 2 weeks ago, I think these may just have to go into the top instead of on the side, because the only thing that fits in the side is a 2-inch net. I need the wider mouth for sure, and I think there's gonna be a lot more roots, so I'm just going to go ahead and rinse these roots. This one is the cherry tomato. It's $2.47 at Walmart, and we're going to rinse the roots and we're going to put it right in here. That's the plan for this one. And I've got another container that I plan to do for this other celebrity tomato, $2.47 as well. These other tomatoes, the 4-pack is smaller, but these are also getting pretty big. So I've got a lot to do. The peppers are inside growing nicely in the Kratky system, and we're going to have to move those to a bigger bucket as well. And here are the 2 peppers that my last video was about. I put them into a smaller container while they established some roots, and now they are in there. I will give an update next week. They're doing good. Tomatoes. By the way, these were the ones that I'm doing in this video. Unfortunately, the chickens got to the soil ones, so we're starting over there. But I'm going to go gently rinse this one. I forgot to check if these are indeterminate or determinate. Now remember, determinate gets to a certain size, doesn't go totally crazy. It's kind of got like a preset size inside of it. And I noticed the Walmart ones do not say what variety, or if they're determinate or indeterminate. I noticed at Home Depot, all the tomatoes said whether they were indeterminate or determinate. Does it say on the back on the Walmart ones? It does not. So we have no idea. If you remember, if you weren't here last year, I had a whole bunch of tomatoes, and some were indeterminate and were really getting out of control. They were literally up to the ceiling, at least 14 feet, maybe taller. They actually started to bend, and yes, there was tomatoes way up at the top. I'm going to go take this one first. We're going to go rinse the roots, and then we're going to put it into one of our lovely containers. Okay, guys, I decided to bring you along. Look at all those roots. Yeah, this one's pretty established. I should not have let them get this big, because I don't like to let anything go to waste. I'm going to save the soil. I have a lot of things to still plant. Yeah, I think we're going to go with the pool noodle. This is a lot of roots. I don't want to put it into the water too early, because then it'll get very heavy and the roots will just break off. So it's best to get as much as you can off. Then we go for our first bath. Now, when I did this last year, the peppers did not wilt last week, but my tomatoes have in the past. When this size, I kind of expect it. Hold on. This is as good as I'm going to do right now. It's okay if there's a little bit of soil, but honestly, these roots look really good. We are back. I've got the pool noodle option. I've got the 2-inch cup. Now you can see why I'm going to pick the pool noodle. Even if the roots were all the way in the bottom without any rock wool, there's not much support. That's as much as it's going to go. That's not going to be good. It will have no stability. So, as you can see with this, I can put the majority of it like this and put this roots in the water, and you're going to have much more stability. We're going to do these 2 tomatoes, so I'm going to put out 2 for right now. Again, they usually have a hole. These are like 1 inch by 1 inch little rock wools. I'm curious, what is your favorite tomato to grow? Roma, beefsteaks, cherry? Let me know in the comments. Let's go ahead and get them wet. Got some collars, but since these are so big, we are going to have to go with this. And yeah, we're going to have to do that. And then I'm going to find an older piece, and I'll get some cloth for it later. But for right now, I just rolled it up like a little E or a Pac-Man. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead too and trim off some of these lower leaves. Okay, I'm going to put the rock wool right here above some of these roots right there because I want to kind of sandwich it in there, because you want the water on some of the roots. You could put it up, another one up on the stem to help hold it, but you definitely want it around the roots to help keep it moist. Was it this one? We're going to use the green. So it's already been slit. This is about 2, maybe 2.5 inches. I'm not going to go all the way down, but I am going to go down. And we're going to close it up. Now, if this is still too wobbly, I can always add another collar. I think it'll be okay for right now. I ended up finding my other sizes of my rock wool. This one is like 3 inches. I use this for much bigger jars. And then I found my other green. This one's tinier. I don't know if you can tell, but it's quite tiny. So it actually might be perfect too to plug those holes. So put that one in the water for later. Now, I haven't added the solution yet. We want to make sure that it's going to go in here and that it's tight enough. Now, the roots are actually probably hanging about down to here. So I am going to add the solution. I called this rock wool. This is not rock wool. These are pool noodles. This is the big one, like 3 inches. This is probably about 1.5 inches. And I have a blue one around here too, but I'll find it. Anyway, we need to finish this off. This is already solution. This is master blend that I made earlier. And yes, I use a kitty litter. It's clean, don't worry. Now also, what I have done in the summertime, if I think a plant needs a little extra help, I'll add an aeration pump. Basically, it's an aquarium cord with an aeration stone at the bottom. They're literally like $1 at Temu or Walmart, or at some pet place. And sometimes that'll help get the minerals off the bottom and help add some extra oxygen to the water. Really hot times in the summer, I was doing that on certain plants. I'd like to test it better. Last summer, I was kind of learning as I went. But let's go ahead and add the solution for this. That's 4 cups. This will be 8, 12. I want to say these hold about 3 gallons, maybe 2 to 3 gallons, the kitty litter containers. All right, I don't know if you guys can see on the camera, but I can see that the roots are not in the water. I need at least 8 more cups. I remember my friend PMR in my chat yesterday saying that she ordered some master blend and that was really expensive. Maybe she got more. I get the 1 pound bags and I've had it for about a year and a half. And I just ordered more, and I was doing a lot of 5 gallon buckets last year. So they're about $15 a piece. 15 for the master blend tomato, tomato one, and then a 1 pound bag of the calcium nitrate. Each were about 15, so it was like 30 bucks. And for fertilizer for, I don't know, a year and a half, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I've seen way more expensive stuff. So the idea is that the roots will grow down to reach the water. As the water is being used up, the roots will keep growing. Of course, you don't want this to go bone dry. You want to check on it during the period of probably pushing for fruit or vegetables. It'll use a little bit more water. So during those periods, you'll want to check it more often. But this should last for quite a while it gets going. So I'm definitely going to make sure at least the bottom roots are covered by a couple of inches. There we go. Let's see. All right, so the water is here and the roots probably down to here. This really didn't take that long. I already had the containers. I did forget to touch it up. And that is that. That is our, I'm going to tape this to the container so I don't have to play which variety is this. And I'm going to try to look up about the determinate versus indeterminate, because that would help me. That would help me plan better too. Which kind of bucket? Indeterminate, you're gonna want to go with a 5 gallon. I can tell you that. All right, this is the veggie tomato celebrity. You can see. I hope. I mean, these are cheaper. These were $2.47, and I would say at Home Depot they were probably $4.98. And let's get some tape. Tape that on there, and that's that. All right, I am going to do this next one. I'm not going to take you with me to rinse off the roots, but first, let's do that. Okay, guys. So I have the second tomato, and the date is March 18th, Tuesday. I don't have enough fertilizer to fill one of these containers. I'm going to make it in a minute, but I just wanted to go ahead and get this into a container. Again, that's the great thing about this system is once it's in one of here, I can easily pop it in and pop it into this later when I get more solution. But this will definitely get it going. So actually these roots were very long, kind of doubled up on each other now. But yeah, we got most of the dirt off of it. So here is the rock wool that I had earlier. I'm going to carefully slide it around the very top of these roots, as much roots as I can. See, I really don't want to stick all the roots like that. I think they'll be better off hanging. So I'm going to use this pool noodle for right now. And so I'll turn it to give it extra support. The opening to the rock wool is now facing this side. And I'm going to scooch it down just a hair. There we go, so it can close. There we go, nice and pretty. So I'm going to carefully pop this in. Now, as you can see, it is leaning today. I should have used a longer pool noodle, but I don't have one right now. But I have found these handy. They are like for flower decorations. They look like this. So I'm going to take another one and put it the opposite facing way. And turn this around. I'm going to do one on each side, not going into the plant itself. And there. I want to do well. So I definitely want to get a nice new batch of fertilizer. I'm going to tape this on here for now so I know what it is, but it's the cherry tomatoes. And I'm going to put this on there for right now. And add today's date, March 18th, 2025. Okay, I'm going to get these 4. Again, these are just Better Boy tomatoes. Let's see. And the bucket is already drilled and cleaned out, but we need lots of solution. So this one's ready. I'll put them in by the lights just so they don't get a shock of the weather and the roots being cold tonight. All right. Thank you for watching. This is E11 doing Kratky, Kratky, Kratky. We love Kratky. All right, so here are all the tomatoes that I did yesterday and today. So yeah, I did this one yesterday and this one. This one is the Tomato Celebrity. This is the cherry tomato. I'm going to be moving this into a bigger container. And yeah, now I got to move the peppers out here in the other bucket as well. And I have this container too. I'll probably end up putting this tomato right here in it. And I'll use that bucket for something else. But let's let them relax for a minute. These were inside overnight, so we'll get them acclimated here. It's getting hot. And then I've added these 2 little sticks because this one I didn't cut an additional hole. So it'll be easy enough to pull it in and out of. So I hope you enjoyed this content, learning how to put tomatoes in the Kratky system. If you enjoyed this content, hit the thumbs up and the subscribe. And make sure you come back. I usually do lives at least once a week. And please leave some comments for ideas for something else to try to grow. Look forward to seeing you next time.